Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we announce the winner of our final ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaway. We cover the latest Disney news and travel back in time to list our Fab Five opening day attractions in Disneyland and Walt Disney World. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick Candy Cane Kazuki.
Ooh, Adam Hummel. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm so wonderful. That's been in my head all week long, and I can't get it out.
Do you know what's interesting? Those songs are a slow burn. I'm realizing this now.
Yeah, they're slowly starting to sneak into my days now.
I haven't even really listened to the soundtrack at all, and yet it's like my mind is catching up with what I saw.
Yeah.
It's like you actually do kind of know this song without really knowing it.
It lives in you.
It's a latent earworm. How was your week, Patrick?
It was wonderful. Thank you so much. I had my last dressed rehearsal for the show. We opened this evening, actually.
You do?
And then, of course, we celebrated Thanksgiving.
How was that?
Lovely. I did a Turkey Day 5K early that morning.
Smart.
And then just hung out with my family that night. What about you? How was your week, and how was your Thanksgiving?
I can't even remember my week at this point. What an odd week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We didn't have work on Wednesday. Our office closed because of a snowstorm here in Minneapolis.
Oh, man. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was driving home during the snowstorm, and it was terrifying. We were going like 20 miles an hour for an hour and a half all the way home.
No.
Yeah, it was not fun.
And Thanksgiving was lovely. My Aunt Julie hosted it this year.
Oh.
And she is the most approachable, chic person I know. There's no pretense there. But she just
Lovely.
always looks really like cool and put together.
Yeah.
I want to be her one day.
You will be.
I think so.
I see it for you.
Tips from Aunt Julie on how to dress like an adult.
Maybe we'll have her on for an episode, a segment.
I would love it. Well, Patrick, it is officially December.
It truly is.
It's the holiday season.
It's a holiday season. The air is dry. My lips are chapped. Isn't it wonderful?
There's nothing more magical.
Nothing.
But that means that there are a number of ways to celebrate the holidays Disney style, both inside the parks and outside the parks.
I love it.
I'm talking about the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, which is now open and is open through December 30th at Walt Disney World.
Amazing. I've never seen it. I have to get out there for that sometime.
It is beautiful. And the food is excellent.
Ooh.
And you can eat more of it because it's cooler.
I hear there's like a cookie crawl that happens.
There is a cookie crawl.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I crawl the cookies a lot, though, so it's probably no different than just me at home.
I tend to crawl after cookies. Why did you do that, Adam?
What have you done?
Oh, God.
Speaking of, one of the events that happens there is the Candlelight Processional every year. And this year, Disney Parks Live will be presenting one of the evenings on December 3rd at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Very specific, 8:10.
I think it's because they have that hosted segment before the show actually begins.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch this?
No.
Great. Great.
I did watch it last year.
Okay.
And it's the same host as last year, Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, of course it is. They love him.
And I saw it live, so...
Wow.
You know,
Brag much?
with Jodie Benson, but no big deal.
Wow.
No big deal.
Get out of my basement.
And now, of course, Patrick, with Disney Plus, it makes it much easier to celebrate Christmas Disney style in your home.
It's true.
Because we have access to all these wonderful holiday specials and movies right there on our TV.
It's true. The new movie Noelle is out.
That's right. I haven't seen it yet.
With Anna Kendrick. It's cute. I liked it, actually. It's not my favorite, but it's cute.
Elf-like.
It's very Elf-like. There, in fact, are some jokes that are directly from the movie Elf, and it's like, oh, that was, okay. You could have tried a little harder to not do the same thing, but what are you going to do?
I also noticed, Patrick, that Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas is available on Disney Plus.
It certainly is. Have you seen it?
I have never seen it.
Same here. Maybe we should do a review of it.
I was thinking, it'd be interesting to do a segment where we review movies that are sequels to movies that we truly love.
Ooh. It's a Take Two Part 2.
Take Two Part 2.
But it'd be Take One for my head's going to explode pretty soon here.
There's too much stuffing in your body to process this properly.
There's going to be more later on. I have leftovers.
No, I haven't seen it. I've kind of been holding back on watching it because I'm a little bit nervous to watch it. Like, is it going to spoil my love of the original film?
It may. I've heard some things.
Well, we did hear from one listener.
Oh, you're right.
Andy, who you can find on Instagram at AndyJHeath73.
Yeah.
And he had this to say about the movie.
Greetings from the UK. I'm at home working today. It's still raining over here, as it always is. And I just watched Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, which I've never seen before. It's kind of awful.
What a twist at the end.
He was so excited.
He sounded very excited. He lured us in and then slapped us.
Yeah. That also makes me nervous to watch it.
Fair enough. Here's what I'll say. I really want Andy to talk to me more.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I want to listen to him talk me to sleep.
Yeah.
Wake me up in the morning.
Maybe if Andy provided all the voiceover work for The Enchanted Christmas, it would be much more enjoyable.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, Andy, thank you for your very brief review.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to check it out now. I'd also be interested in knowing what other listeners think of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe there are a lot of fans of it out there.
I'm sure there are.
And doesn't Bernadette Peters do one of the voices? She's like the little angel that goes on top of the tree.
I literally know nothing about this movie.
Okay, I think Bernadette Peters is one of the voices in the film. I think she's the little angel that goes on top of the tree.
What a surprise.
Well, Patrick, we'll have to give it a watch and let everyone know our thoughts, but we'd love to know your thoughts on Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, or other films that you know are on Disney Plus that you plan to watch during the holiday season. You can, of course, find us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can leave us an email or a voice memo at info@gaysdothed.com, or go ahead and leave us a little video on Instagram. And if you have a really lovely body... feel free to do it topless.
Whoa.
No, we can't say that. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, with December, the celebrations keep on rolling in. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will be opening this Thursday, December 5th, at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
I'm also nervous for this. I'm also nervous for it.
Oh, no, I think it's going to be wonderful. I have high hopes.
It's supposed to be like their new flagship attraction worldwide.
Yeah. Did you watch the Thanksgiving special last night?
I didn't.
I watched half of it, and there was a really extended viewing of the ride and what's to come, and it looks even more exciting than it did last month when they gave us a sneak peek as well.
I just don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
And I'm also really nervous because we're going to be there in a couple weeks.
Right.
Will it be working?
Well, Disney is getting your hopes up for you. I feel like they're like straight up telling you this is the best ride that will ever happen.
I've been reading about some of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they're having a hard time keeping it open for a full day because there's so much logistically involved with the attraction.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Hard to keep you open all day?
All day long.
That's not what I've heard.
That's
not what I've heard.
I'm getting older.
You are open
tougher.
For business whenever anyone calls.
Into the unknown, indeed. We'll have to report back on your trip about the ride breaking down.
Yes. Yeah, and anyone who happens to ride it on opening day or shortly thereafter, please reach out to us and let us know what your experience is like.
Pretty please. Another thing I'd like to celebrate, Adam, is we have a new patron on our Patreon page.
That is the holiday gift that keeps on giving.
Monthly, in fact.
Monthly, hopefully.
Cole is our new patron. I think her full name is Nicole, but correct me if I'm wrong, Cole.
Wait a minute. Isn't that Anna Kendrick's name in...
Maybe it's her.
The movie?
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that idea.
Me too.
Maybe Cole has better jokes to use, though.
Probably.
In the movie.
Probably.
Let us know, Cole. Let us know. And then, of course, I'm just going to keep talking, Adam.
Great.
You don't have a chance here anymore. We have some anniversaries to talk about. Actually, we have one anniversary to talk about and one birthday.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my Lanta.
Yes.
Let's talk about that anniversary first. Turning 54 years old, it was released on December 2nd, 1965, That Darn Cat.
I have not seen That Darn Cat.
It's been a while since I've seen it. It's a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
They remade it, I think, with Christina Ricci, I believe.
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, but the original starred Haley Mills.
Of course it did.
As did everything.
What wasn't she in
the 1960s? So happy anniversary to That Darn Cat. And then we have a very special birthday on December 5th, born in 1901, one Walter Elias Disney.
Uncle Walt.
Uncle Walt.
It's Uncle Walt's birthday.
I'm so excited about that. Happy birthday, Walt Disney. We miss you. We love you. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
I was just watching episode 2 of The Imagineering Story the other night.
Ah, yes.
Catching up on that, and that deals heavily with after Walt's passing and kind of the mentality of the company and where were things going to go. And it just kind of really drives home the profound impact he had on inspiring those Imagineers into doing their best work and how lost they were without him for a while after he passed.
Yeah, that show, I love it, but it seems very unconcerned with my emotional well-being.
Yeah.
It just rips my heart out every single time.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so wonderful.
Well, we should have some cake or something to celebrate.
I have heaps and heaps of leftover cake and cupcakes upstairs, so we can do that.
Why didn't you mention this as soon as I walked in the door?
Because it's all for me.
Oh.
You can watch me eat it.
Okay.
A lot of people pay for that. It's a freebie for you, for Walt's birthday. How uncomfortable.
Yay.
So on that note, happy birthday, Walt Disney.
Happy birthday, Walt. Moving on, Patrick, as we know, Frozen 2 opened a couple weeks ago.
It did?
It did.
Oh, okay.
In fact, we did a review of it on last week's episode. If you'll just get that mental...
I'm drunk a lot,
yeah,
Adam, and it just
I know, but
makes me not remember things.
just try sometimes.
Okay.
And I hear it's doing quite well.
Yeah, I think it's doing okay. It's like the little engine that could.
Or the flaming hot juggernaut that is.
That is busting down all of the records.
All of the records.
It's insane. So starting off, it was the best November opening of all time with a $130 million opening weekend.
Wow.
That's insanity. This will make it the fourth highest of all time for an animated movie.
Wow.
You're speechless. I love it. So after its opening weekend, this is some interesting stuff. It is November's biggest Monday earner of all time with $12.8 million just that day domestically. And then on Tuesday, it scored another $20 million, which made it the best grossing Tuesday in history. And then it posted another $23 million this past Wednesday. How crazy.
And according to Forbes, Patrick, this past weekend, Frozen 2 became Disney Animation's biggest sequel ever.
And rightfully so. I mean, this movie is so wonderful, and people are falling in love with it.
I know a lot of our Tweedledees have already gone back to the theaters and seen it a second or third time already.
I need to do that as well.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Should we do it together?
Let's do a take 2
Okay.
episode of it. That would be amazing.
It would be amazing. I think people might be into it.
I think so.
Well, we had some listeners reach out to us with their thoughts on Frozen 2, Patrick.
True story. We have Mario, who's on Instagram, Diamond in the Rough Clothing Co. He says, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but wonder if any songs will be as popular as Let It Go was a few years ago. I doubt any song will have that same staying power, but I'm sure Disney has another $100 billion movie on their hands, which would be 6 so far this year. That's a really good point. Can't help but think that Disney is now oversaturated in the box office because they bought Fox. They had Ford versus Ferrari at number 1 and now Frozen 2, then in a few weeks Star Wars and Spies in Disguise. With all those films coming out and eating each other's profits, it might make fewer ticket sales for each film. Such an interesting point of view.
Will it, though? Because those movies were going to exist anyway.
It's true, and I may be speaking out of school here, but I feel like most films are mostly concerned with opening weekend numbers. Like, everyone wants to have the highest grossing film of all time, but history will tell that later on, right? But the highest grossing weekend is what people are after.
Yeah, I don't really understand how all of that works in the long term.
Yeah, I may be fully incorrect about that, but I feel like that seems right.
I don't know, yeah.
Well, I've said it, so it's true now.
Your birthday was last week, Patrick. That rule about everything being your opinion being correct.
No.
It's over. It's over.
Do you want some cake?
I do. Oh.
Am I right now?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Also in last week's episode, Patrick, we had asked Tweedledees with kids to reach out to us to let us know how their children responded to the movie.
Yes.
And Allison, who you can find on Instagram at Allie Q, wrote in to say, took my almost 7-year-old to Frozen 2 on Friday. He loved it. I did too, more than the first, as it's more mature and darker, and I think the songs were stronger, if not as earwormy. Her son asks daily when we're going back to see it and if it's on Disney Plus yet. She loved Kristoff's song and wants to take her husband to see it just for that song alone.
Interesting.
I fully believe 7-year-old Adam would have been all over this movie. Unhealthfully, so probably obsessed with it.
Yeah, I may not have ever left the movie theater if I had seen this when I was 7. I would just stick around for each of the showings.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that comment about the songs not being super earwormy, I just heard the latest episode of Fourscore with Christina and Robert Lopez, and they were talking about how they were not trying to beat Let It Go. they knew that that was such an epic anthem, basically. They were just sort of creating Act 2 of Frozen. And so that was an interesting way to think about it, that they weren't trying to make a melodic masterpiece. They were just trying to tell the best story they could with all of the music. So it makes sense that none of them are really earwormy, but we still love them and they're beautiful songs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any way they could compete with Let It Go and the phenomenon that was.
Exactly. So they didn't even try. They were like, we're not even going to try to do that because if we do, then we're going to lose the message.
That's very smart.
Very, very smart. Speaking of the music, Denzel writes into us. He is on Instagram from _Washington. We had mentioned last week that Robert Lopez is an EGOT, and you said that you thought he was on track for a double EGOT. We weren't quite sure. So Denzel did the work for us. Thank you so much. He wrote in and said, Robert Lopez is a double EGOT. Remember Me from Coco completed the second one, so he already has 2 EGOTs now.
Where's his third?
Yeah.
Where's his third EGOT?
Mm-hmm. You ain't special.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is kind of.
He's so special.
He's so special.
And so talented.
It's insanity.
Thank you, Denzel, for letting us know.
Yes, thank you to all of our Tweedledees who wrote in with their opinions. And keep them coming, folks.
Yeah, this movie's not going anywhere.
It is. It's going to go to Disney Plus eventually.
That's a good point.
But probably not for a full year once it's done raking in the cash.
Sticking with Frozen, Patrick, and acknowledging the fact that December's here, which means November is nothing but a distant memory at this point.
It's true.
We have our very last ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaway winner to announce.
I'm so sad and excited at the same time.
Because you don't have to ship prizes anymore?
No, I'm happy about that, but I'm excited for our winner.
Yeah.
But I'm sad that we're not going to do any more ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaways.
How about next year?
I guess.
We'll just pick up right where we left off.
I suppose.
All right.
It's so far away.
It is very far away. Our week 4 ThanksGAYving Thanksgiveaway is our collective leftovers from our Thanksgiving meal. And we're just going to box them up and ship them off to you.
Never give that away. How dare you?
No, the actual giveaway is an Arendelle Aqua Minnie Mouse sequined ear headband for adults.
I love it. They're so beautiful.
And I can safely say, Patrick, that this was our most entered giveaway of all time.
Wow.
So many people entered this.
People are hungry for those earbands.
They want those ears.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, would you like to announce who our winner is?
I would like nothing more than to do that. Here is your much-loved drum roll, Adam. What'd you think?
Just announce the winner.
Wow.
Just announce the winner.
Folks, he's stunned with joy.
It went awkwardly tribal at one point, and I have... It was
Norse tribe.
Got it.
Realness.
Yeah,
Adam.
I don't know if it was that real.
Okay. Moving on. I liked it. And I hope Jess liked it. Jess, you are a winner. Jess is on Instagram, Adventures by Jess.
Congratulations, Jess. We will reach out to you via DM to get all of your information and to get you those ears as soon as possible.
Congratulations. And an aww to you.
How fabulous is Jess going to look in those ears all December long?
Well, Jess already looks fabulous, but even more fabulous now.
They're also a smart New Year's Eve ear.
Ooh, I like that.
They can carry you into the new year as well.
Listen, they're a day to night ear.
They are.
You can go get some apples with them and then go to a gala.
That's right.
You can get some gala apples and then go to the gala.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
You know where else you can go sporting those ears, Patrick?
I feel like you're setting me up to be like,
you can go
to hell.
Yeah.
You know where you can put those ears, Adam? No, tell me where I can go with those ears.
To the news.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that instead.
Uh-huh.
Let's put some ears on and give our listeners the news. I'm never going to stop. D23, Disney's official fan club, has given us a first look at what's to come for its members in 2020. Buckle up, folks, because it's a lot. Returning to Disney World on November 20th through the 22nd in 2020, Destination D will honor the many magical Disney destinations around the world, and Mickey's of Glendale will once again open a pop-up shop for the weekend featuring exclusive items for D23 members. The Walt Disney Archives will also celebrate its 50th year of operation with an all-new exhibit which will include 50 iconic items from the archive representing all 50 years. Also, on March 4th, 2020, D23 members will be invited to a grand opening preview of Inside the Walt Disney Archives, 50 Years of Preserving the Magic at the Bowers Museum in Santa Ana. And on June 22nd, the anniversary of the founding of the archives, D23 will hold an anniversary party at the Bowers Museum. And D23 will hold 2 exclusive A Day at the Studio Lot behind-the-scenes experiences in 2020. The dates for those have yet to be set. Moving on, in past years, I know it's a lot, in past years, D23 members were invited to private screenings of Disney films on the Walt Disney Studios lot and at Disney Springs. And this year, for the first time, these screenings will also take place at select cities around the country, more than doubling the number of screenings throughout the year. This is something that fans have been hungry for because not everyone lives near there.
Sure, yeah.
But D23 members are all around the country. So D23 will also have opportunities to attend advanced screenings of movies in 2020. An official list of movie dates and locations have not yet been released, but in 2019, locations included Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, Detroit, Houston, Las Vegas, Minneapolis, New York City, Phoenix, Seattle, Salt Lake City, and Toronto.
I wasn't aware they had screenings here.
I don't know that there were a ton of them, and they may just be for D23 Gold members.
Sure.
And so I've only just become one, so I will be sure to let you know if I get any invitations.
Please do.
And I'll tell you when I'm going.
Yes.
And I'll invite someone else.
That feels right.
What a twist. D23 will invite guests to enjoy Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival this coming spring, as well as foodie favorite Sip and Stroll during the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival next fall. Walt Disney Imagineering's exclusive merchandise store, Mickey's of Glendale, will once again open its doors to members for shopping days, and seasonal favorites will return, including a new Halloween event and the holiday favorite Light Up the Season with D23 at the Walt Disney Studios, as well as a special event next December at Walt Disney World Resort. Members will also be able to attend special events at the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco, and D23 will continue to offer unique experiences across the country, giving members the opportunity to meet Disney legends. Last but not least, in 2020, D23 will bring member mixers and meetups to cities across the United States, including Anaheim, New York City, San Diego, and Seattle, as well as the Aulani Resort in Hawaii. That is a lot of offerings.
So many offerings.
So many. And that is just a first look. Like, there's more to come beyond that.
Oh, my gosh.
Which will be released later on. So dates, ticketing information, and more events, like I said, will be announced throughout the year. And details on D23's lineup of 2020 special events can be found on their website at www.d23.com/events. Now, many of these events are exclusively for D23 Gold and Gold family members, but be sure to check the full listing details, which will indicate whether or not it's for all D23 members or just for Gold members.
I'm pretty sure I can crash any of those Gold member events, though.
I'm sure you can.
They'll let me in. Don't they know who I am?
They're going to check your member at the door, and if it's not Gold, is that how it works?
While the phrase Disneyland After Dark may sound like an adults-only content category on Disney+, it's actually a specially themed after-hours park experience featuring unique entertainment, special food, one-of-a-kind photo opportunities, collectible merchandise, and more.
And more, you say?
And more. And last week, Disney announced that 4 Disneyland After Dark events will be coming to the resort in early 2020. First up, 80s Night will be held on January 29th, 2020 at Disneyland Park, with access to the park beginning at 6 o'clock p.m.
I love it.
80s Night will feature a flashback to Videopolis takeover of the Fantasyland Theater, awesome After Dark fireworks to the max, and throwback encounters with Disney friends of yesteryear. Next, Sweethearts Night will be held on February 12th and 13th, 2020 at Disneyland Park, with access to the park beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. Sweethearts Night will feature love song-themed dance parties throughout the park, as well as a glitzy royal ball and encounters with darling Disney couples, including Cinderella and Prince Charming,
Aww.
Aladdin and Jasmine, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse,
Of course,
and Ryder and Kristoff.
Ooh, snuck that one in there, did ya?
I just made that up, but it's my dream.
I need a minute now.
On March 5th, 2020, Disney California Adventure will host Pixar Night with access to the park beginning at 5 o'clock p.m. Pixar Night will feature interactive dance parties themed to favorite Pixar stories, including the retro-cool Incredibles family and scare-tastic gang from Monsters, Inc., and encounters with crowd-pleasing Pixar pals, including Russell and Carl from Up and Joy and Sadness from Inside Out. And on April 30th, 2020, Disney California Adventure will celebrate Disney's darker side with Villains Night.
Ooh.
Access to the park will start at 6 o'clock p.m. Villains Night will feature Villains Cabaret with a cast of outlaws singing and dancing their way through a riff-raff love and review, DJ-hosted dance parties and sing-alongs throughout the park, and encounters with some of Disney's famously nefarious fiends or their henchmen. Tickets are $109 per person and go on sale to annual pass holders Tuesday, December 3rd, with general admission tickets available for purchase on Wednesday, December 4th. Parking fees are not included in the ticket price. For more information, visit Disneyland.com. Patrick, which night speaks to you the most?
80s night for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, guests are encouraged to dress to impress on any of these nights. So what would you be rocking? Some leg warmers?
I'd just be very pretty in pink, don't you think?
Very pretty in pink, don't you think?
Pretty in pink realness. What about you?
I too embrace the 80s night. But I think I'm going to go as Ali Sheedy's character from The Breakfast Club.
I was literally just going to suggest that you do that.
Really?
Yeah, we should go as The Breakfast Club. I, of course, will be Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
And you'll be Ali Sheedy eating a sugar sandwich.
Which is pretty on brand for Adam Hummel as well.
Previously, we announced that Disneyland had filed work orders with the city of Anaheim to refurb Snow White's Scary Adventure. This past week, Disney released its plans for the attraction. The updates will include enhanced story details and all new scenes. A new vignette will show Snow White in the forest waking up from her deep sleep. And now the end will reveal when Snow White is reunited with her animal friends with the castle in the background. New music will also be added, as well as LED black lighting, laser projections, and a new animation system. The exterior will also be completely updated with new fairy tale-inspired details to complement the nearby Sleeping Beauty castle. The last time this attraction was updated was in 1983 as part of the Fantasyland overhaul. Snow White was an opening day attraction and will celebrate 65 years in 2020.
It's as if the Imagineers knew that we were concerned with the updates they'd be making, and they wanted to calm our nerves with this announcement. I'm so on board with everything that they're going to be doing to this attraction.
Yes, they clearly heard us in a previous episode talking about this, and they were like, you know what, let's give Adam and Patrick a little glimpse. Apples? Will that still be there?
I'm assuming.
I hope so.
It's also nice that they're going to give us a softer landing into the ride unload as opposed to the kind of jarring crash into the happily ever after you experience now.
Such a weird ending that ride has. Such a weird ending.
Yeah.
My real question is, will Evil Queen Rebecca still be revealing herself from the curtains above the ride?
They did say they were going to make updates to the outside of the ride, too.
I know. Is one of those updates my topless Rebecca? Stay tuned.
You're very into topless today.
Today.
Patrick, have you been naughty or nice this year?
Which day are you talking about, Adam?
That's a fair answer. Santa Claus is coming to town, Patrick.
Uh-oh.
Santa Claus is coming to town, square, courtyard.
Okay.
In Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom.
Oh, dear.
From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
Fantastic.
I meant to sing that in my notes, but I forgot to sing it.
And the world thanks you.
The Jolly Old Elf, and to some, the Ultimate Zaddy, is available for meet and greets through December 24th.
Wait, is Santa an elf?
Yeah, he's a jolly old elf in the poem.
What?
Yeah, he's supposed to be quite diminutive, but in our modern culture, he's a massive beast.
Wow.
You learned things today.
Did I, though? I can't, I'm not on board with that.
You know, if we were going to go back to the Victorian poem, Patrick, you would be a more appropriately sized Santa.
Rude.
Diminutive.
Rude.
Adorable.
Okay.
Or, Patrick,
Yes.
if you're looking for a potentially shorter wait, and because Santa is magical AF, you can also meet him at Disney's Hollywood Studios in the Once Upon a Time souvenir shop on Sunset Boulevard, also through December 24th.
Boy, that Santa really gets around.
He can be in 2 locations at once. He's just that magical.
He is.
Or, Patrick,
Oh, dear.
Or you can meet Santa at Santa's Chalet in Disney Springs.
Ooh.
And because he knows you have a ton of shopping to do, he makes it extra easy to meet him by offering a check-in and return time via text message to your mobile phone.
A fast pass to Santa.
That's right. A fast pass to Santa's lap.
Uh-oh.
Again, Santa will be available at Disney Springs through December 24th. For more information on visiting Santa in Walt Disney World, visit disneyworld.com.
It seems clear that we need a Gays Do the D picture with Santa at some point.
Oh, I would love that.
We can send it maybe to our Patreon family.
Wouldn't it be cute, too, if we could convince Santa to wear a rainbow-striped Santa suit?
Well, if he was as magical AF as you claim, he would already know, and we'll have that prepared.
On a snap. He could just snap his fingers and make it happen.
We might have to come up with some delightful outfits as well. I'm thinking something sheer.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
And just a hint of leather. Maybe a captain's hat.
How is Mrs. Claus going to react to all of this? They're open, right? They have an open relationship. There's so many elves, Patrick. Think of the possibilities.
I can't with you right now.
Patrick,
Y'all's Adam.
it's been ever so long since we've done a Fab Five list.
It has been quite some time.
Months and months, maybe a month.
Maybe a month.
Maybe a month? Mm-hmm. And I thought since this is the beginning of December, there's no better way to welcome such a festive month than by us listing 5 things.
Talking about 5 things.
5 things that we like.
I like it. You might say these are a few of our favorite things.
These are a few of our favorite things.
I said to say it, not to sing it, but
yeah, you're right.
you know.
I cannot take direction.
Listen.
But this is a very special Fab Five list, Patrick.
It is.
Because this list requires us to hop into a time machine
It does.
and go all the way back to 1955 and then take a trip to 1971.
It's true. It's true.
Do you know what happened in those 2 years, Patrick?
Probably a lot of people were born.
A lot of people were born.
Food was eaten.
Yes.
Baseball games were played.
Uh-huh.
What else?
Also, Disneyland opened in 1955.
What?
Yes.
Who knew?
And Walt Disney World opened in 1971.
Shocking.
So for this installment of our Fab Five list,
Yes.
we're going to be listing our Fab Five opening day attractions in Disneyland or Walt Disney World.
I love this idea, although it required me to do some homework, which I did not love.
I know you've been so busy lately.
I'm very busy.
How did you manage?
I hired it out.
Smart.
I used a white glove service.
They have that?
They do now.
Can we hire out the entire podcast?
I kind of do already. I'm not going to lie to you.
Your name's not Patrick. is
Nope.
it?
No, it isn't.
So for any of our new listeners out there who have never experienced a Fab Five list, we of course are paying homage to Disney's Fab Five: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy.
It was a real treat for me to watch you go through that because you could not remember their names for a second.
It was an adventure, but I got there.
You did. Congratulations to you.
Patting myself on the back. And this is just basically a countdown list. We count down from 5 to 1, our favorites of any given topic. And as I said, this week we're talking about original attractions on opening day.
That's right. And anything that did not make the list is just trash.
That's how these lists work.
That's how it works.
And if you disagree with us,
Get a podcast.
get a podcast. No, of course, we're absolutely going to want to hear your lists after we wrap this up.
It's true. There were quite a few opening day attractions that are still around, which is fascinating, and some that have been swept away by
I know.
time.
Sad. So on that very dour note, Patrick,
Yeah.
do you want to kick us off with your number 5 Disneyland or Walt Disney World opening day attraction?
It would be such a pleasure for me to do so.
So do it.
Okay, here it goes. Number 5 for me is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Classic.
This was, of course, a Disneyland opening day attraction, and it was also in Disney World for a bit, but now that has been taken over by the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, much to the chagrin of many, many people,
Me.
namely Adam.
I like Winnie the Pooh.
Me too.
Yeah, but I miss Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Walt Disney World.
I wish they would bring it back there. So this ride, of course, is based on the 1949 film The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, but specifically teases out the Mr. Toad portion of The Wind in the Willows. It was originally, fun fact, going to be a roller coaster, but Walt Disney wanted this ride to be for all ages, so it was turned into a classic dark ride. Now, I love this ride because of how wacky it is.
Yeah.
It is just a real adventure of maybe drugs. I don't know what's going on as much. But it's so beautiful, though, too. The artwork behind it is really lovely. The track that you're on is really fun and bouncy sometimes. The old cars that you're in. It's just a really lovely, classic, dark ride. It should be noted that in 1983, the original ride got a bit of an overhaul and was updated to resemble the newly built Disney World attraction, but it did remain fairly similar. Like I said, it's just a classic Disney dark ride with these amazing set pieces that are sort of the main focus of the ride itself. Another fun fact is that Corey Burton does most of the voices, and Corey Burton is pretty well known for updating and replacing the voices for many beloved Disney characters like the White Rabbit, the Mad Hatter, Buzz Lightyear, Captain Hook, and of course he does an amazing impression of Paul Frees's version of the ghost host from the Haunted Mansion, and Burton did the narration for the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay on the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. And let's not forget, you go to hell on this ride.
You go straight to hell at the
You
end.
go straight to hell.
And that's how we circle back to giving away the ears.
That's right.
Here we go, straight to hell.
I like it.
I really love this ride.
Yeah.
And I miss the Walt Disney World version in particular because it was a 2-track ride in Walt Disney World.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Whereas Disneyland's just has the 1 track. In Walt Disney World, you could board on a right-hand queue or a left-hand queue.
Ooh.
And then at one point during the ride, you were headed straight towards a car on the other track. So you thought you were going to run into them. And of course, it twisted and turned in a fun way.
Oh, that's super fun.
It was really, really fun.
Interesting.
I mean, this is such a classic dark ride with like black lighting.
Yeah.
But this is also a very flat ride, right? Like all of the elements are painted on flats essentially.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about it is that it kind of replicates the effect of a multiplane camera in an animated film. And so segments will open up onto other segments. Like you think you're going to hit a wall and then suddenly you're going through the wall and
Right.
seeing a bunch of other flats. It's just really charming and really fun.
It's like you're in a pop-up book version of the story.
That's exactly right, Patrick.
Yeah, I love that ride. So that is my number 5 opening day attraction ride.
That is an excellent choice.
Thank you very much.
I approve.
Thank you. Let's move on to yours.
My number 5 opening day attraction is in Disneyland, and it is the Storybook Land canal boats.
Oh, fun.
Yes. So this is a Fantasyland boat ride through various miniature vignettes in 1/12 scale from Disney animated films, or at least it is nowadays. Ken Anderson was the lead designer on it. And Patrick, this is a phrase I had never heard before. In all of the Disney history that I've learned, I've never heard that it is a spiel or spiel ride.
Interesting.
It stands for show awareness, presentation, interaction, enthusiasm, and language.
Huh.
And it basically means that there's a cast member riding on the boat with you.
Yeah.
So like the Jungle Cruise is also one of those.
Okay, sure. And the Great Movie Ride was one of those.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, cool.
I had never heard that phrase before.
Same here.
Yeah. The origins can be traced back to the park Walt wanted to build across the street from the studio when he wanted to build Mickey Mouse Park.
Okay.
And it's inspired by, I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, Madurodam in the Netherlands, which is an attraction that opened in 1952 with miniature Dutch landmarks. And so Walt originally wanted the attraction to be miniature recreations of landmarks around the world. And the attraction opened in Disneyland with the title Canal Boats of the World. Unfortunately, and this comes as no surprise to anyone who's watched the Imagineering story, we know that time and money ran short before the park's opening. And that time and money essentially ran out for this attraction.
Oh, dear.
So legend has it that park executives referred to the ride as the Mud Bank Ride.
Oh, no.
Or Mud Banks of the World.
Oh, that's upsetting.
2 months after opening, the ride closed, and it reopened in June 1956 under the name Storybook Land Canal Boats, which is what we know it as today. The boats on the attraction are all named for female Disney characters like Ariel and Belle and Daisy and Flora and Fauna and Merryweather.
I love it.
And then for some reason, there's Flower, the one male boat, Flower from Bambi.
Weird.
I know. Why?
That is very strange.
And anyone who's ridden the attraction knows that it features locations from The Three Little Pigs and Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan and Aladdin and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Cinderella and the Adventures of Mr. Toad and Frozen and Pinocchio and The Little Mermaid.
So by naming just a few, you meant all of them.
All of them.
Okay.
You don't even need to ride this ride if you've never seen it before.
It's true.
So why do I love this attraction? I love it because I love things in miniature.
That's why we're friends.
It's true. It's true. No, but I do love that smaller scale. I feel like a giant.
Yep. This took a turn.
There's something so charming about seeing those kind of miniature vignettes and sets from movies that you've known and loved for years and years.
Charming is the exact correct word for this, I think.
Yes, and I've never had the opportunity yet to ride it at night, but I'm sure at night it's a completely different experience.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way. I bet it's all lit up and really beautiful. But you probably can't see the detail as well as you can in the daytime.
That's a good point, Patrick. And like the Jungle Cruise, you can get a really great narrator on your journey through these tiny sets. And we had a fantastic one on our Disneyland trip. In fact, at one point, our boat had to stop for a moment while another boat was stalled ahead of us.
That's true.
So we got to ask our cast member a bunch of questions about the attraction itself, which was really fun.
It was fun. It seemed fun for her, too, because she never really gets to do that, probably, because they have kind of a script that they follow. But it was fun to get some off-script moments with her.
Some fun facts about Storybookland canal boats. The canal contains 465,000 gallons of water, which flows via underground pipes to the moat around Sleeping Beauty Castle, the Jungle Cruise, and the Rivers of America, where it is pumped back to Storybookland.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy? All that water is recycled to all those different attractions.
Interesting.
The attraction's 13 boats are powered by electric inboard motors. When not in use, they are stored in a boathouse hidden behind the waterfall containing Triton's castle.
Cool.
And this is really cute. The houses in Storybookland are fitted with 6-inch doors and 1/4-inch hinges that open and close so the Disneyland electricians can change the light bulbs inside the buildings.
That's adorable. I imagine there are mice families that live in there.
And as we saw when we rode it, there's also giant ducks that attempt to attack the villages.
That's right, monster ducks.
So that is my number 5, Fab Five, opening day attraction in Disneyland, Storybookland Canal Boats.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Thank you so much. Patrick, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is an attraction, not a ride.
Oh.
It was an opening day attraction for Disneyland and for Disney World.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Swiss Family Treehouse.
Oh, yes.
So, as I said, it was an opening day attraction for Disneyland and for Disney World, and there are versions in Tokyo Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. It is no longer in Disneyland. It has been replaced by Tarzan's tree, I believe. So, Imagineer Bill Martin worked on the design alongside animator Wolfgang Reitherman, who designed the treehouse you see in the film The Swiss Family Robinson. The tree itself is made of steel, concrete, and stucco. It's 60 feet tall and 90 feet wide. Much like me.
No, Patrick.
Well, close. You're not 60 feet tall. As I said, it is designed to be a replica of the treehouse the family builds in the movie The Swiss Family Robinson, about a family who is shipwrecked on an island in the 19th century. And the detail and the story are just incredible in this walkthrough. But my favorite part of the attraction is the incredible views you get of the castle and the park in general. It's designed so well that for much of it, you do sort of feel like you're in this treehouse and outside of the world of Disney. But then there are just some very intentional, I think, glimpses of the castle that you get. It's really outstanding, really great place to take some photos. And like I said, just the detail and the mechanics of it are breathtaking.
I haven't done this in years and years and years and years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In fact, in Walt Disney World, I often walk by it without even realizing it's there because it's so landscaped in front of it. You can see the height of the tree, but you don't even really realize it's an attraction if you don't know that it's there.
Yeah.
And as for Disneyland, the Tarzan treehouse, it's kind of more prominent because Adventureland is smaller.
Yeah, you'd almost run into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. A fun fact is that the original one had orange and brownish leaves on it, but they fade too quickly in the sun, and so they painted it green instead, because green, when it does fade, tends to sort of blend into itself a little bit better.
And I believe when we were doing our episode, A Walk in the Park Adventureland, we were kind of giving some stats on the treehouse, and all of those leaves are vinyl or something, and they're all created to move and respond to the wind.
Yes.
So think about that. Someone had to make and paint all of those leaves.
Yeah, every inch of that is handcrafted. None of it is an actual tree, which is outstanding because it couldn't look more real.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's so well conceived.
And a nice little exercise that you get walking up those stairs.
Your quads be burning. Your quads be burning after that.
That's right. So that is my number 4.
That's also an excellent choice, Patrick. You are 2 for 2
am kind of amazing.
Yeah, I haven't disagreed with any of your choices yet.
You may.
My number 4 choice is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Uh-oh.
Which opened in Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
I had a feeling we'd have some crossovers.
Oh, for sure. Yes. This Fantasyland dark ride, which we've already talked about, was designed by Ken Anderson and Claude Coates. And you can really see Claude Coates in this ride. You can really see his contribution to it.
And his body is literally in it, so you can see him.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Just kidding.
And as Patrick mentioned, sadly, the Walt Disney World version is now closed. It closed in 1998 and was replaced with The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But what's really interesting about that closing was that it was met with huge protests in the Disney community. Mm-hmm. Websites were created. I mean, websites were relatively new at that time, but they were created. Flyers were printed. T-shirts were made. There was a real outcry from the Disney community because fans were so in love with this attraction in Walt Disney World and did not want to see it go.
That's crazy town. I wonder what kind of a ride that would be today that people would lose their minds over.
My mind jumps to something like Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Oh, sure.
But I think those, and I might get slapped for this, are kind of like on another level than Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Sure.
So I don't know. That's a good question. What would be comparable today to that kind of ride closing?
Yeah, because when the Great Movie Ride went down, people were sad about it, but I think everyone was like, yeah, it's time.
It either needed a comprehensive update or it needed to close.
Exactly.
A fun fact that we mentioned on a previous episode is that in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, there is a portrait of Toad handing the deed to his house to Owl.
I love that little detail.
And did you also know, Patrick, that Mr. Toad makes an appearance in the Haunted Mansion's pet cemetery in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom?
I did know that, actually.
So his memory is still there.
It's true.
The ride just no longer exists in Walt Disney World.
I like that they killed him completely.
Yeah.
And put him in the cemetery.
Brutal end to Mr. Toad. So that's my number 4 choice, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I approve of your choice because it is one of my choices.
Mm-hmm.
You clearly liked it a little bit better than I did, though. Well, let's move on to number 3, shall we?
Yes, please.
My number 3, again, was an opening day attraction at both Disneyland and Disney World. I'm talking about Peter Pan's Flight.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, right. There are also versions in Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, and Shanghai Disneyland. So the original ride in Disneyland was meant to make riders feel like they were Peter Pan flying over London and through Neverland, and you never actually saw Peter Pan on the ride, which I think confused a lot of riders. They thought they were going to see a classic storybook ride.
That was really common in version 1 of a lot of those Fantasyland attractions.
Yes.
Because we also experienced that in Alice in Wonderland, right?
That's true,
like,
yeah.
She wasn't originally in the ride, and people were like, where's Alice? Mm-hmm. And the guests were supposed to be Alice.
Yeah, and this is a classic example of the guests sort of dictating how they want their park to be and making it sort of a community environment, because they did then update it and include Peter Pan. So when it opened in Disney World, they added audio animatronics, and it was more of a classic storybook dark ride where you saw scenes from the actual movie. And then in 1983, with the big overhaul of Fantasyland in Disneyland, they updated their ride to more closely resemble the Disney World version. And this is just such a wonderful, classic, nostalgic ride, and frankly quite innovative for its time. If you think about the innovation of a ride suspended from a track on the ceiling in 1955, that's pretty remarkable work. And I have to say, I know it gets a lot of flack from adults, but it does still hold up as a really beautiful ride. The set is so gorgeous, and the ride is very smooth, and people of all ages can enjoy it. And I especially now in Disney World love the new queue that they've added.
So good.
It might be better than the ride itself.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of pixie dust, I guess.
I think a lot of the flack the ride gets is not for the ride itself. It's just for the wait time.
The wait time is ridiculous.
And it's a short ride.
It's about 3 minutes, I think, maybe a little bit less.
That seems long to me. It seems even shorter than that.
It might be. I know Tokyo's is the longest version of the ride, so I really want to get out there and see what they've done with it and added to it.
But you're absolutely right, Patrick. As far as like classic storybook ride and then innovation on top of that, this is the ride, right? Mm-hmm. There's a reason that everyone runs to Peter Pan's Flight at rope drop is because, one, they want that connection to nostalgia.
Yeah.
And two, they want to introduce it to their kids, right? They want their kids to experience the ride that they got to experience as a kid. Mm-hmm. And three, it's just a great ride.
I'm really hoping, I'm crossing my fingers and making a lot of wishes that they sort of update not this ride, but update the mechanics of the ride and implement something really interesting in the new Mary Poppins attraction that will be coming to Epcot.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have an adventure where you're like flying on a kite or something.
Sure.
And see what they can do now with this idea of a suspended track.
That didn't even occur to me, but it does seem like if they're going to do more of a dark ride for the Mary Poppins attraction, this is kind of the way to go, this same kind of ride system.
You would think, but I'm sure they have some tricks up their sleeve that I am not thinking about. But I do consider myself an Imagine Queer. What?
I agree with the second part of that.
Okay. So that is my number 3.
That's a fantastic choice, Patrick. In fact, it's so fantastic that I'm also going to make it my number 3 choice.
Oh, no.
Yep. I also chose Peter Pan's Flight for my number 3. And I didn't realize this, but technically it didn't open with Disneyland because it opened 2 days after Disneyland opened.
That is true, but I did sneak in. We both did with it was an opening day attraction in Disney World.
Yeah. Some of the Imagineers that worked on this ride were Herb Ryman, Marvin Davis, Bob Maddy, Claude Coates, and Ken Anderson. And as I was doing research for this segment, Patrick, it occurred to me that they don't necessarily have super strong records of who worked on these rides.
It's true.
Because everyone worked on these rides, particularly in Disneyland.
Yes.
Everyone was like just hammering it out, trying to get the park open. And so basically all of the Imagineers touched the rides in one way or another.
It's true.
And just a fun fact I'd like to add to your presentation, Patrick, is that at the highest point in the attraction, you are 17 feet off the ground.
Is that a fact?
Did you even feel like you were that high? I always assumed it was like 6 feet.
Yeah.
But you are 17 feet off the ground at the highest point with the lowest point in the ground. That makes no sense, but you know what I'm saying.
I do. Don't tell Patricia Kazuki that because she would freak out.
It's a good thing that it's so dark in there.
Yeah, it's true. It is very dark. They give you a really good illusion on that ride.
They really do. All right, well, there we crossed. It happened.
I keep taking yours.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll continue with that.
I actually really like it because then I have to talk less.
That's true.
So,
and our Tweedledees like that as well.
Probably.
No.
I can just sit back and they can listen to you, your dulcet tones.
Yeah, that's what they are. So let's move on to a number 2. Opening day attraction.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am talking about the Country Bear Jamboree.
Love it.
Love it. So this was an opening day attraction in Walt Disney World. It premiered there before it did anywhere else, which is kind of a unique situation.
It is, yeah.
So there's also a version in Tokyo Disneyland, and there was a version in Disneyland, but it closed in 2001. What was it replaced with, do you know?
The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is there
Winnie
now.
the Pooh is taking over everybody's rides. Rude.
That bear.
That bear.
Conniving.
Well, replaced a lot of bears with one bear. Makes sense to me.
Yep.
So the attraction was originally supposed to be placed in Disney's Mineral King Ski Resort, which was never actually built. The assignment was given to Mark Davis, who came up with many different versions of the bears, which makes me laugh, including a bear marching band and a mariachi bear band, which I really wish we could see.
I do want to see that.
And then, of course, it sort of turned into a Dixieland Country Bear Jamboree.
Yes.
We reported on this before, but I think it bears repeating.
Bears repeating.
I know. So one day, Walt Disney was doing one of his famous walkthroughs of the offices and saw Mark Davis's drawings for the bears, and he laughed and approved of them. And on his way out, he said goodbye to Davis, which he was not ever known to say to people. And that would be the last time that Davis ever saw him, because Walt, of course, died a few days later on December 15th, 1966. Kind of a sad story that's attached to this attraction.
It is. I don't want to say that Mark Davis's renderings killed Walt Disney.
Oh, dear.
It's very suspicious. Very suspicious.
We're going to look into that.
Yeah.
Disney Investigations is going to be the new Disney Plus show that we're going to do.
Yeah, we're a true crime podcast now.
So once plans for the ski resort officially stopped, it was decided that work on this attraction would be sped up and placed in Disney World in time for its opening day, with Mark Davis designing it and Ex Atencio and George Bruns creating the songs. My favorite of which is Blood on the Saddle.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Big L, I believe, sings that one. And then the one that the three ladies sing, all the guys that turn me on, turn me down.
It's like your theme song.
It is. It really is. It really is. This is such a lovely little show. And the more I watch it, the more I love it, I think. When I first saw it, I remember being like, what's happening here?
Sure,
I don't understand. And then the more I went back to it, it just really speaks to me now. I love it so much. And it's so fun to watch the bears walk around outside of the attraction. It's the cutest thing in the world. They are lovely, and they will play with you so much.
I think what makes this attraction so generational is that for little kids, it's just fun to see singing and talking bears on stage.
Yes.
And then as you get older, you realize what they're actually singing about and talking about.
Yes.
And that's where the humor comes in on the adult side. It's kind of like a Pixar movie in that way, isn't it? Because
interesting.
There's layers to the comedy.
Yeah.
Whereas the kids just kind of get the workings of it. The adults actually get the message behind it, and it's really funny.
Right. And normally adults have to go to a gay bar to see Singing and Dancing Bears.
That's true.
So here we are at Disney World. Singing and Dancing Bears.
This attraction used to have an overlay, too. I don't know if it was in both Walt Disney World and Disneyland, but there was a Christmas overlay.
There was. I know that was in Disney World. I think they did it in Disneyland as well. And then there was like a Summer Jamboree version that Disneyland got.
That's right. Right before it closed.
And actually, they loved that one so much that they just turned the entire attraction and kept it with the Summer Jamboree version in Disneyland until it closed, as you said.
And I know Tokyo Disneyland does the Christmas overlay, too.
They do indeed. I really want to go see that.
It would be fun if Walt Disney World did the Christmas overlay. I would imagine it's a lot of work, and maybe they just don't want to do the reprogramming that's required for it.
Well, we've talked about it before in that Disney World, with the exception, I think, of the Jungle Cruise, doesn't really change their rides much because so many people from all over the world want to see what they're expecting to see.
Right.
So that makes sense. I just wish that they would disregard those folks.
Do it for us, Disney.
And just regard us. So let's move on to your beautiful two, Adam.
I'm still not comfortable with that.
Okay.
My number two.
Yeah.
It's funny to me, though.
Lay it down.
Oh, dear.
Lay down
My
that
number two is the Jungle Cruise.
Oh.
Which is an opening day attraction at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
Okay.
Everyone knows that it's a riverboat attraction found in Adventureland. And as I mentioned before, Patrick, it is a spiel or spiel ride.
I love that term.
It was designed by Harper Goff and Bill Evans. Goff used the film The African Queen for his inspiration for the attraction.
Which is one of my brother's favorite movies.
Mr. Allnut. I will never not do an impression of Katharine Hepburn when given the opportunity.
Yeah, I know.
She lives within me. Her spirit is in me.
Much like Mufasa is in Simba. Katharine Hepburn is in Adam.
Just like that. Just like that. Yeah, Bill Evans actually provided the landscaping for the attraction. And he had some really fun kind of workarounds for it. Like he was planting orange trees and then picking the oranges off of them. Or sometimes planting orange trees upside down and using just their trunk and root system as kind of like a more exotic looking addition to the ride.
So clever.
And the attraction was initially designed as a more realistic voyage along major rivers of Asia, Africa, and South America. But Mark Davis came in later and contributed a lot of the humor that we know today, like the Indian elephant bathing pool, which is so cute, and the rhinoceros chasing explorers up a pole. And Patrick, it's soon to be a major motion picture being released on July 24th, 2020, starring The Rock and Emily Blunt.
I'm weirdly anticipating this movie, but I don't know what I'm anticipating.
Yeah.
I'm very confused by it.
I just want it to be kind of like an Indiana Jones style adventure.
Yeah.
But I need to temper my hopes.
Keep your temper.
Keep your temper. Let's talk about some fun facts on the ride.
Yes, please.
The water for the Jungle Cruise is approximately 5 feet deep, and all 15 boats' names, except for Orinoco Ida, are alliterations like Amazon Annie, Congo Connie, and Senegal Sal.
Cute.
And during the holidays, the Jungle Cruise in Walt Disney World becomes the Jingle Cruise via a holiday overlay.
So cute.
It's so cute. I really love the Jingle Cruise.
A lot of people do. They have very spiked attendance for that attraction when it does get the overlay.
And I'm sure it must be exciting for the jungle skippers, too, because it gives them a chance to try out new material. I imagine that might get a little monotonous, although I think it'd be so fun to be a Jungle Cruise skipper.
You would be very good at it.
Thank you so much. You've said that before, and I like that you're repeating it.
You'd be very good at it. Is that what you meant by it?
One more time?
You'd be very good at it.
Thank you so much, Patrick. You would also you'd be adequate at it.
Oh, great. Thank you. It's clearly not my birthday anymore. Okay.
So that is my number 2 choice for our Fab Five opening day attractions in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, the Jungle Cruise.
You'd be very good at it.
My ego, the rest of the day, is going to be out of control.
Listen.
Patrick, that takes us to your number 1.
How did we get here so quickly?
Because we're having fun.
Looks like we made it.
We're having fun and we're learning.
We are.
Yeah.
We have fun here.
We do.
We have a good time.
Give me your number one Fab Five opening day attraction in Disneyland or Walt Disney World.
Well, Adam, it'll come as a surprise to nobody.
Oh.
It's the teacups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is just your number one attraction.
It is, so I don't need to talk about it too much because you can listen back to a previous episode where we talked about attractions in Disney World. The teacups is my favorite ride. So fun. So this was an opening day attraction at both Disney World and Disneyland, and it's called Alice's Tea Party in Tokyo and the Mad Hatter's Teacups in Paris and Hong Kong.
I wonder why they haven't updated it yet to just like spill the tea.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be. When we imagine queer it.
Thank you so much.
Certainly will be. So a fun fact, only the Disneyland version is uncovered and is unable to run in the rain because once it takes on a certain amount of water, the turntables get too slippery and they are no longer able to spin. So that's terrifying.
It's terrifying, but I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So all of the other locations learned from this, and they are all covered so that they can run while it's raining, which is super smart. And it makes sense now. I was always wondering, like, why don't they just make it the same every time? But
man, that Disneyland version is so beautiful.
it's really beautiful. It's true. It's true. And when it's lit up at night, it is gorgeous.
Yes.
Both locations are gorgeous.
Yeah, that's true.
That we've seen. I'm sure the other ones are as well. I don't know. This ride for me is just such a simple design, but yet it is so full of joy. There's so much nostalgia behind it. It's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite movies, so that helps me love it even more. And I can't stop laughing when I'm on it.
I don't know if this was the first ride of its kind when Disneyland opened. I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming there were other versions of this ride before the park opened.
Yeah.
But this is a great example of the intellectual property enhancing the ride. I mean, what's more Mad Tea Party than like spinning teacups?
Mm-hmm.
What's more Alice in Wonderland than that? So like the ride technology is enhanced by the story element added to the ride.
And it's a fun movie-inspired ride that's not just another storybook ride. It's almost a thrill ride.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's for all ages, and it's not just, like I said, a storybook ride. It's just an inspiration from the movie, which I really love.
It's also fun that you control it, right? So
Yeah.
you control your experience, whether you want to go from like more casual, laid back spinning to puke level of spinning, which is usually what Patrick and I opt for.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If I'm not walking sideways when I get off this ride, were we ever really on it?
In fact, I normally don't ride this ride unless I'm in a Disney park with you.
Yeah.
And if you want to see pure joy on Patrick, you can actually go to our Disneyland Gay Day stories in our Instagram at GDTD podcast, and you can watch a video of Patrick riding this ride, and his laughter is infectious.
Aw, that's so sweet of you to say.
Seriously, get tested after you watch the video because
Wow.
you will probably have something.
Wow, that took a turn.
You will need a screening.
That took a teacup turn.
This is a great choice, Patrick, and I applaud you for your level of consistency because not only is this an opening day attraction, but as I mentioned, this was your number one choice for Fab Five attractions overall.
In Disney World specifically.
That's right.
So, drum roll, please. Boom, boom, boom. It's time for Adam's number one.
It is time for my number one. And technically, I could choose the Haunted Mansion, right? Because it did open in Walt Disney World on opening day.
I assumed you were going to.
But I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
Why?
Variation.
Okay.
Whereas you chose the path that was already tread, I chose the path less traveled by.
So you could say you're just not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I want to keep things interesting, okay?
And I do not.
Yeah.
I do not.
You like consistency.
I like honesty is what I'm talking about, Adam.
Okay.
And you clearly don't treasure honesty.
Well, this is also very honest.
Okay, great.
In that my number one choice for Fab Five opening day attractions in Disneyland is Snow White's Scary Adventures.
Interesting.
I truly love this ride.
Yeah, of course.
It is an opening day attraction in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It is a Fantasyland dark ride. And of course, it's based on Disney's 1935 animated masterpiece, Snow White. It opened in Disneyland as Snow White and Her Adventures before its redesign in 1983. And man, was that 1983 overhaul of Fantasyland quite the project. Just because, as we've talked about previously on this podcast, Fantasyland was designed more like Disney World when it first opened, and that it had a kind of like a medieval fair theme
Sure.
before the 1983 overhaul, and now it has more of a storybook village theme.
Yeah, what's interesting is that they changed the landscape to not resemble Disney World, but yet they changed all of the rides to resemble Disney World's version of those rides. They did a little swapsy.
Yeah, they took the advanced technology from Walt Disney World, but then they actually kind of reverted to a more classic storybook look for the land itself.
Which was smart. It's really beautiful.
So beautiful. Much like Peter Pan, the ride was designed so guests felt like they were Snow White, so she was not in the original version of the ride. But she was later added in the 1994 kind of minor refurbishment of the ride. At that time, they also made the ride less scary. And I have to say, the one in Walt Disney World was truly terrifying when I went on it as a kid. Like, very, very scary.
That's hilarious.
I think it had 7 appearances by the witch, while Disneyland's only had 6. So they upped the scariness in the Walt Disney World version for some reason.
One for each dwarf.
That's right. Sadly, Walt Disney World's Snow White's Scary Adventures no longer exists. It closed in 2012 and was replaced by Princess Fairy Tale Hall. And as we mentioned in last week's episode and this week's episode, the attraction will close in Disneyland in early 2020 for a big refurbishment. So, Patrick, I got some fun facts for you.
Yay!
Guests used to steal the poison apple offered by the Queen. Disney solved the problem by replacing the prop with an image of an apple projected by means of a parabolic mirror.
I have so many questions. Starting with, how did they grab it? Are they that close to you?
I guess.
Weird.
I can't remember a time in the ride where you were close enough to like reach out and grab it, unless they were like really leaning out of the ride car, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that Imagineers then removed that prop apple, and now it's a projected apple. So I guess when guests, if they try to swipe for it, their hand just goes right through it.
So weird. That must freak them out.
Also, this is interesting. Many of the animatronics featured on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World are from Snow White's Adventures, such as the dwarves at the attraction's finale and the vultures.
I did know that, actually, which is really cool. And I love when they recycle old props to put in new rides.
It's smart, and it plays into nostalgia, too. It's nice to be able to see those old ride elements that you knew as a kid.
Yeah, little Easter eggs for you.
So Snow White's Scary Adventures, my number one choice for Fab Five opening day attractions in Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
An excellent decision.
Thank you so much.
Such a classic.
And I'm excited to see where it goes next, what the next generation version of that ride is going to be like.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a very extensive overhaul, so I'm excited to see what they do with that as well. Adam, I must say, you did a fine job today.
Thank you so much. That is high praise coming from you.
And I say it a lot, but I actually mean it this time.
Thank you.
Good job today.
Thank you. You did such a great job.
I know.
I know you know.
So let's challenge all of our Tweedledees out there to also do an excellent job and send us your Fab Five lists for opening day attractions at Disneyland and or Disney World. How can they do that, Adam?
They can reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
It's true. And you can email us or leave us a voice memo at info@gaysdothed.com. Did you have any also-rans in your list that you wanted to choose? The Haunted Mansion, I suppose.
I went back and forth on including the Haunted Mansion.
I bet you did.
Everyone knows I love it.
It's true.
But
and we talk about it a lot on this show.
We do. But this one came together really quickly for me, I have to say. Like, I was pretty decisive. I knew what I really loved and wanted to talk about.
Yeah, same here. When I looked at the lists, I was like, oh yeah, these are my clear favorites.
And it's surprising when you look at Disneyland's opening day attractions, there's not a ton there. A majority of it was in Fantasyland, as far as like the dark ride, kind of classic ride experience goes.
That's true. I almost included Dumbo on mine because that was in my overall favorite rides in Disney World, but I think the remake movie has just really put a damper on Dumbo for me.
When do you think they're going to announce that refurbishment, when they're changing it over to the live-action remake of Dumbo?
They're going to have actual elephants flying you around?
Yeah.
Fun. I like that idea. I mean, not so much for animal cruelty, but because, nope, I don't like it at all.
That, and I was gonna
terrible
say,
idea,
the
Adam.
grounds crew cleaning up all that elephant dung.
Gross. What a way to end the episode with elephant dung.
Speaking of elephant dung,
stay
tuned for our Quick D.
That's fair. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Put down your phone. Did I just out you?
I want everyone out there to know that my show notes are on my phone, okay? So when Patrick comments that I'm using my phone, it's because I'm looking at my show notes.
You don't have them memorized like I do?
Okay, laptop in front of you.
That is just straight up dirty movies that I'm watching.
I was going to say it's porn, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. Speaking of, Adam.
Yeah.
It's quick D time.
It is quick D time on your computer and on this episode.
So many quick Ds. This week, I thought we should mix it up a little bit and bring back the Marry, Kill, Disney Plus and Chill.
Marry, Kill, Disney Plus and Chill.
What do you think?
I love it.
Okay, category is...
Yeah. Wait, do you need to explain first what that means to people who may not know?
So, marry is when you get married to somebody.
Yep.
Kill is when you kill them.
Yes.
Disney Plus and Chill is when you have some adult activities with them, perhaps in the nude, depending on your style of Disney Plus and chilling.
And depending on your style of sensuality.
Sensuality. This is a real mess so far.
Yeah.
Let's give our Tweedledees
Okay.
the category. Why don't you reveal the category?
Okay. The category is Disney animated male animal.
I like it.
Disney animated male animal. It's like bestiality.
Oh, dear.
Well,
Fair enough.
but if they're animated,
We can look past it.
then it's allowed.
It's it's barely legal.
Barely BEAR.
Oh, look what you did there.
Thank you.
Look what you did. Who wants to go first, you or me?
I think you should go first.
Okay, fair. I will present you with 3 animals.
Yes.
And you will marry, kill, Disney Plus, and chill them.
Great.
And then I'll give you my answer as well. So basically, we're both answering each other's questions
Fantastic.
and our own questions.
That's great. Yeah.
All right. Here are your male animal animated options. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going with King Louie from The Jungle Book, Bernard the Mouse from The Rescuers,
Yep.
and the crocodile from Peter Pan.
Okay.
Which do you choose, and where do you put them? that didn't mean it. You know what? I did.
You did mean it that way. You did. Are we going in order? Do I need to do marry, kill, Disney Plus, and chill?
You can do whatever you want. This is your answer, Adam.
Okay. I'm marrying King Louie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like it. How come?
He's a king.
Great.
Who doesn't want to be king of the chimps and the primates? Me. Wait.
He's an orangutan.
I do want that.
Okay,
I
great.
want that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I would be like his queen.
You're everyone's queen, Adam.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to marry Louis.
Great.
I'm going to kill Bernard.
Oh, no.
I just don't know him.
Oh.
As much as I love Bob Newhart, I don't know Bernard because I haven't seen the film.
Right.
Although I could on Disney Plus now.
It's true.
So yeah.
Kill the stranger.
I'm going to kill the mouse. I'm going to kill the mouse I don't know.
It's true.
And that means I'm going to Disney Plus and chill the crocodile from Peter Pan.
Okay. Why?
He's real hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got it. He's got an appetite.
He likes to swallow body parts.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's appealing to me.
Got it.
I have a question.
Tell me.
If I'm marrying or Disney Plus and chilling these characters,
Yeah.
are they going to come out of the TV like the girl from The Ring?
They are. They are, in fact.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying. Yeah, so I think those are excellent choices on my part. Good job, Adam.
Good on ya.
Thank you. What about you? Who would you?
Okay, I'm going to kill the crocodile. So sorry, you no longer have a mate.
I guess not.
But these are in alternate worlds.
That's right. Why are you killing the crocodile?
I don't know. I'm just offended by him in general.
So you're Team Hook.
I'm
then,
Team
apparently.
Hook. I'm
Okay.
Team Hooker.
Yep.
What? I'm going to marry Bernard.
Yeah, that
the
sounds
mouse,
right.
Because he's a rescuer. He can save me. He's very diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
He's high-powered.
He carries diseases from all over the world.
No.
I believe the Black Plague were caused by mice and rats.
Well, we have that in common, Bernard and I. And then I'm going to Disney Plus and chill with King Louie.
There's a lot of hair there.
Well, listen, those arms.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of arms. He can reach around and around and around and around again.
Opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I like multiple reach arounds, and he can do it all at the same time.
Oh, dear.
I'm just talking about wrapping his arms around me for that sweet, sweet
monkey love.
monkey love.
Yeah. Is he a monkey? I guess not. I don't know. Is it monkey orangutan? I don't know how that works.
He's an orangutan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm. So that's my answer.
That's a great one.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and those slaps that he can give are rough and tumble.
It's a backhand.
It's a backhand,
from King Louie.
a forehand, a back foot, a forefoot. All right, let's move on to yours.
All right. I am proposing to you
Great.
Apu from Aladdin. Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Uh-oh.
Assuming Stitch is a male, right? Stitch is a male.
Sure.
Okay. And Olaf from Frozen and Frozen 2. Who are you going to marry? Who are you going to kill? Who are you going to Disney Plus and chill?
Interesting. I'm going to kill Olaf.
What?
I've done it, folks.
What?
I've done it.
Patrick. He's beloved.
He offers nothing, though.
He offers a carrot.
He offers a carrot, but I can find carrots in other places.
Okay.
There's many around.
All right.
He's just offering me nothing. I think he's very funny, but that only goes so far.
I think it's everything.
What's he going to do?
Humor?
Make jokes in bed? No, thank you.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Don't you want to laugh?
I don't want to have to teach him all the time.
Once the physical nature of a relationship is over, don't you want to be laughing with your partner?
No, I want some
Okay.
experience, and he has none. He has none.
He's getting there, though.
He's getting there.
By Frozen 3, he's going to be quite the player.
I just
have a
simply
feeling.
don't have the time. I don't have the time. I need someone who knows what they're doing.
Okay.
In the bed and
All right.
in life.
All right. I guess it
Great.
would be really cold if you were...
Bye, Olaf.
Yeah. Okay. He's dead.
Done and done.
Easiest to kill, for sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just, melt him.
I'm going to marry Apu because I feel like he can steal us a lot of really excellent things.
He's a provider.
He's a provider, a
Yeah, I can see that.
kleptomaniac provider.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. And you need things in your life to be happy and feel
I am
fulfilled.
merch, not memories.
That's right.
And so I think that I can be provided that with one thieving monkey.
Can you imagine, too, like, you don't need to buy 2 seats on a plane. You can just sit on your shoulder.
It's true.
It's so affordable to have a monkey as a husband.
It's simply cost effective.
Yeah.
To do it this way.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm going to Disney Plus and chill with Stitch.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how that would work. I don't know what orifices other than his mouth and his ears are available. And I think there's claws involved there.
Yeah, there are.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding.
Patrick's face just lit up. He
Those
loves it.
Blue claw marks.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
He's a wild child.
He is.
And sometimes you just need that.
I guess you're just Disney Plus and chilling him. But you're opting for that kind of wildness, that kind of disregard for order, as opposed to Olaf's
That's exactly correct.
disregard for order.
That's exactly correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Stitch knows what he's doing. He's seen some things. He brings an otherworldly experience to the bedroom.
That's true. That's a great point.
Thank you.
You don't know what secrets from the universe he's learned.
I'm going to find out.
You're going to find out.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my choice.
Those are excellent, interesting.
I choose my choice.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
I think I'm going to marry Olaf.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
He just makes me laugh.
Okay.
I want that.
Yeah, you like simplicity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that one of the simple joys in life, Patrick, is laughter. And he can provide years and years of that for me.
Okay, fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I'm going to murder Stitch.
Oh boy.
Stitch is for sure dead.
We're no longer friends, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
First, I mean,
Explain
come on.
yourself.
Come on. I can't be around that all day long.
I want to remind you that you brought it to the table.
I know, but I love order, and I love things
Yeah.
like neat and clean, and that's just like a disaster. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Turning me on so much. Beautiful disaster.
And that means that I'm going to Disney Plus and chill Apu.
Got it. We both selected monkeys.
Yeah.
Or apes, I guess. One monkey, one ape.
We're both f***ing primates.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, humanoid, so I guess that's in our favor.
Fair enough. They are closer to us in the evolutionary scale
Yeah.
than the other options.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. What a logical choice.
That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.